Hey, boys and girls, thanks for tuning in tonight, or whenever it is you're tuning in, or clicking, tapping, uploading, downloading, dropping, or whatever it is one needs to do to watch the magnificent Special Moments with Stevie D show. You know, it really is magnificent. I'm not just saying that. People from all over the world have contacted me, and not just about lawsuits either. Many fans and stalkers too. I mean, you know, we must be big time if stalkers are chasing after some of the cast. Well, not really some of the cast, really just one person who I can't mention their name for legal reasons, but I did have a really old lady proposition me once right after her surgery. And not just old ladies either. There was this time in South Philly when these two circus freaks, sorry, I can't really talk about that for legal reasons. But anyway, enjoy the show. And remember, operators are standing by somewhere. I don't know where, but peace. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Special News for Geriatrics and Toddlers. The show bridges the gulf between 90-year-olds and 9-month-olds and explains the reason they are the only demographic who require diapers. I'm your host, Basil Fenneman Pomodoro. And on tonight's program, we have a very special guest, and interesting guest at that, here to tell us all about how geriatrics and toddlers are the new wave of social and economic swashbucklers in modern society. A mouthful, but true. Please welcome Cosmo Crooks, an expert on child psychology and elderly washing habits that has all of America perplexed and interested. Mr. Crooks?
Please call me Cosmo. I'm generally very informal.
All right, Cosmo. Why don't we get right into tonight's show? Now, as you've told us on this informational sheet that you filled out backstage before the show.
Wait a minute. Wait a second. What informational sheet? I don't remember filling anything out.
Right. In your own words, you are a curator of post-Columbian Mesoamerican tribal art, as well as a barber to the stars.
What are you talking about? I'm an expert on geriatric pediatric cognitive connections.
Yes, well, we don't really care about that. But what our viewers will find intriguing is how many times you've had your back shaved for religious purposes.
Excuse me. It was my understanding we would be discussing my latest book, From Strollers to Walkers, The Short Journey from Birth to Death.
Just standard informational questions for all of our guests. Have you ever slept on a boat on the Rhine River?
I thought this show was about toddlers and geriatrics. You said you were going to ask me a set of other questions that pertain to the topic.
Those were just to warm us up tonight, to feel you out, get you relaxed so that you'll be more earnest in front of our viewing audience tonight.
Okay, that was kind of a strange way to start the show, but okay. You're not going to ask me any questions about shaving my back.
In your third book, From Crying to Complaining, The Short Gulf Between Infancy and Incontinence, you hypothesize the unseen threads which exacerbate your geriatric pediatric theory. How has that translated to our hierarchical post-analog society?
That sounded like a legitimate question. You would like to know about my thesis on the unique symbiotic relationship between aging adults and children in their toddler years between 2 and 4 specifically.
Yes.
Well, I began formulating my thesis on the through line of aging dynamics while still an undergrad at McGill University. I postulated that certain demographic age groups can cause a counterpoint which...
Hey, you know, you're really a smart guy. I didn't think you were going to be such an interesting guest. How do you feel about eating Caspian beluga while hiking the Himalayas?
I'm not sure what you're talking about. Do you mean with humans? Is this some kind of joke? I don't understand TV humor or this new millennial technological format very well.
So that's your answer. Very interesting. I'm sure people at home watching right now will be very intrigued and alarmed at what you say.
Intrigued and alarmed about what?
Exactly. And I'm so sorry to hear about your challenging situation, but the fact remains that your criminal record stands for itself.
Well, I don't have a criminal record. What is this show? I came to discuss families, the relationships that young children share with their grandparents and great aunts and uncles, how the nuclear and extended family structure works.
Yeah, well, I don't know who you think you are, mister, but around here, there are some subjects that are still sacred. And trying to commandeer my show is not something you're going to do. So help me, Bob.
I don't know any Bob either. I'm sorry. I think we better end this interview. I have no idea what this is supposed to be about. And you, sir, well, as a mental health professional, the best way I can clinically describe it as your nuts, bananas, combo plate short of one item.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought you'd say. A real person of no morals, just like everyone else said. And I'm starting to feel a little hungry. Okay, cut. Hey, that was great. You looked really good. How was the footage, Jerry? Good? Great. Hey, well, that was really great. Thanks for coming on the show.
What are you talking about? Why did you talk to me that way and ask me those ridiculous, absurd questions? And I don't have a criminal record. You said I have a criminal record. And it's just not true.
It's okay. We've got a disclaimer at the end of the show. No one will believe it.
What? Everyone who sees it will believe it. It'll ruin my career. I'll have to get an attorney. Oh my God, you've ruined me.
I wouldn't worry about it. We do this every weekend. Very few guests have gotten investigated or gone to jail. In fact, this is also a live feed to the DA's office.
What are you talking about? You idiot. This is my life. I'm a distinguished academic and intellectual. I'll be ruined.
Well, I mean, if you've got something to hide, that's not our problem. You should have thought about that before you signed the waiver agreement. Anyway, it looks great. I'm sure you'll be able to write a book and make $1 million. Hey, great working with you. Take care and keep in touch.
Maybe he's right.
How many times has this happened to you? You have a dead body that needs embalming, and government regulations have become tougher on your average home mortician's business. On top of that, there's the wife screaming at you because the maggots are getting into the Rice Krispies again. What do? Well, with Uncle Morty's home embalming kit, grinding and crushing old bones are a thing of the past. Now you can embalm the body quick and easy and store it in the trunk of your car or any old place until it's safe to dispose of it properly. For those of you who've killed your mother-in-law for distracting you during that 40-0 Super Bowl blowout, relax. As long as you embalm the body within 24 hours, you can take weeks to decide where to dump it. Remember, with Uncle Morty's home embalming kit, you can live every child's fantasy.
Endorsed by John Wayne Gacy and the FDA, not to be used as a salad dressing or window caulking. Howdy, QAnon followers. It's time to pinch out another Q loaf to keep you hanging on for my next missive. Some of you may have noticed that I've been awfully quiet since the events of January 6, 2021. And some of you successfully pieced together on your conspiracy corkboards that everything I'd been saying during Donald Trump's term in office was completely false, made up, and even rectally inspired. Do you know how hard it is to make things up that contradict the things from previous postings? You may have noticed imposters calling themselves Q, dropping such conspiracy theories like the 7-Eleven Sesame Street Pete Rose cabal controlling the International Space Station to conduct surveillance on the movements of Fox News reporters, or the hastily stitched together concept of how the Jehovah's Witnesses are really a front for Antifa and the American Association of Slot Machine Manufacturers. But not only am I the originator, not the imitator, I'm a descendant from a long line of Qs going back many decades. Just take a look at my grandfather barfing out one of the earliest conspiracy theories in this golden oldie from 1959. This just in, Bolshevik propagandist Jonas Salk apparently laughs maniacally every time he injects one of our children with his so-called polio vaccine, because he knows the miniaturized cathode-ray vacuum tubes in the serum will brainwash our youth to believe that Dutch immigrants are going to replace the more racially pure Belgian immigrants in our cash register factories. Dateline Madrid. Overly maligned charismatic dictator Francisco Franco has once again been insulted by our communist highway builder, Dwight Eisenhower. Ike, if that is your real name, claims that Spain is not a democracy. The Generalissimo is a consensus builder. He's the one that ended the bitter divide between the Goebbels Nazis and the Mengele Nazis. Join me for my next Q drop whenever I can scrape up enough cash to pay the electric bill so I can power my cell phone and post another mind blower, which I swear to God is totally true. In the meantime, keep fearing your earplugs. They will kill you in your sleep. For more on that Q drop, tune in next time. Q out. End transmission.
Hey, all you cats and chicks. I'm Gary Iambic Pentameter. This is the Beat Beat. Beat poetry in a minute. I know you don't have time in your Fitbit, white bread Instagram world to dig real verbal truth, so we blast it in your face at 24 frames a second and 33 RPMs, man. Suck on this. Oh, Mr. Commuter, what lifelight and lard lust for me as an internal combustion system void on Cheerios. What begat and spat and stripped the iconoclast ersatz reality of The Bachelorette? Eating sand with Tom Wolfe in his lazy boy fetish knows no boundaries as he suckles lesbian nuclear weapons owned by the Kiwanis Club of Vacaville. Penetrate my Pringles membrane with the breast pump of Alex Jones. Do not go gently into that off-ramp with glee, angst, and baking soda, sipping on the angry polyps of last year's devil-footed Luddites, effortlessly skipping over the Canadian alleys, listening for a mellow free exchange of ideas. Mullock, Mullock. Oh, I forgot the last line. Mullock, 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 Mullock.
Good evening, and welcome to the premiere episode of Circumstances, where we explore how everyday people find themselves in unusual circumstances. I'm your host, Michelle Royer. On today's episode, What's in a Name? Kirk Douglas, the movie star from the golden era of Hollywood, was born Isser Danilovich, whereas Arnold Schwarzenegger is, well, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Joining us today are three brave individuals who, for one reason or another, live with unusual names. Let's welcome our first guest. Sir, please introduce yourself.
I'm still not sure about this.
It's all right, you're among friends. And several million viewers who I'm sure won't judge you.
My name is Kevin Spacey Stalin.
No, those are just chuckles, recognition in support of your struggle. Please share with us, sir, how you came to have such an unusual name.
My father. Do I really have to go through with this?
It's okay. You are in a safe space. Also, sir, you signed the waiver legally entitling us to publicly humiliate you. But please continue sharing.
My mother, Anna Nicole Stalin, and my father, O.J. Spacey, insisted on their deathbed that I never change my name, which apparently goes back to Ireland in the 11th century.
And how has that affected your life?
Well, random people have punched me in the back of the neck, and someone in England tried to sue me once, but mostly I get spit on.
Yes. That's a tragedy, I'm sure, shared by all. Okay, here, our next guest today, moving on, also lives under a novel nomenclature. And you are Miss?
Nadia Sulman Berkowitz.
Wasn't she the...
Yes, she's the Octo Mom.
Okay, so how is it that you have the same...
Well, my mother's from Russia and my father is Turkish.
Okay, and the Berkowitz?
Well, he's the son of Sam. I know, but Eric Berkowitz is my husband. They just happen to share the same name. It's one of those strange common coincidences, like being named James Bond or Slobodan Milosevic.
Yeah, and how has that affected your life, Miss?
Well, I get a lot of her mail, and sometimes people will ask if a nearby unattended child is mine.
Okay, my next guest today was born John Henry Gladstone. But sir, you willingly changed your name.
Yes, thank you, Jimmy.
It's Michelle.
Yes, I was born John Henry Gladstone, but legally changed it to Edie Amin Trump.
Why? Why would you do that willingly?
Well, Jimmy, it's all because, first of all...
It's Michelle.
Oh, okay. I don't know why you keep saying Michelle. Anyway, it's such a fascinating story. I recently got a 6-figure deal to publish it, and Disney is optioning it for a major motion picture. It's just that interesting.
Wow, sounds fascinating.
It is. It really is. See, it all began when I was...
So one second. I'm being told that My producers are telling me that this show was a terrible idea and that we've been canceled while we were on air. Wow. Apparently, the showrunner for Circumstances conceived the idea after licking the toxins from the skin of an Amazonian tree frog, and in quick succession drank an entire bottle of hand sanitizer forged from a haunted distillery built on an ancient Indian burial mold. In fact, the producers were surprised that the project even got greenlit, considering the treatment for it was written in lipstick on the back of a Walmart grocery bag. I'm therefore being told that, oh my God, okay, we're not only canceled, but the concept is like so bad that myself, the crew, and the guests, you guys are also being blackballed from our respective careers.
What is that?
Wow. Oh my God, okay, they're saying that we won't even have time to say.
Oh, hi there. I'm glad someone had the good sense to watch an innovative piece of creative art. Not many people these days know or understand what good art is and how it can affect people in a very sensitively emotional way, and not just spiritually either. I mean, art can affect every part of the human soul and psyche, and it can especially affect the physical sense of well-being. What I'm getting at is how art can make one appetized or de-appetized towards something. Don't try to look that word up to see if it's a real word. It doesn't matter. I'm Stevie D. But the question remains, can art affect one's appetite? And my answer to that is, of course it can. And it does every day in Erie, PA. Just what am I getting at? If you're a true artist, you'll know what I mean, because only true artists know where the best darn dog in the country is. That's right, the good old Dobbins dog. I don't want to get into too many details right now about how the great American Dobbins dog from Erie, Pennsylvania can change your life the way it has mine and countless other established artists like myself. It's just a fact. No other food known to mankind can do the same to one's motivation or talent or skill set than the Dobbins dog. Look what it did for me. Wait, don't think about that. I'm kind of a loser and owe a lot of people money. So think about Hugh Jackman. Yeah, that's right, Hugh Jackman. The guy's totally buffed, is a modern Hollywood icon, gets all the women, and I don't just mean the old washed out hags. He really scores, and all because he does the Dobbins dog. Hey, that sounds like a new dance. I think I might be able to have some steps for that. Yeah, the Dobbins dog. Wow, I better go now. And don't send me any more hate mail. Just remember, Dobbins dog, Erie, Pennsylvania. You'll thank me.
And now it's time for the Vegas Strip with Joey Vegas. Culture commentator Joey Vegas strips down the events of our times to their bare essentials, as only Joey can. Hey, Joey, is there life after death?
Oh, so you must be talking about the night of the Hooksbury. It was a night happened. It was a life after death incident. It was great musicians came through and they were whispering to if we were just talking in front of Ryan Seacrest's cat closet, and we were, and we played a little bit of poker in there, and I would say Ryan didn't bother us at all. He was downstairs just maybe I think he was watching a movie or something, and has nothing, or it's not comparable to, I would say, was Kalen or something like that living with him. I was just there for a day, and somebody on Craigslist was asking questions about stuff, and they said, "Oh, you can't do that," and everybody had to leave real quick. But yeah, I think we might be able to do that. Really.
Hey everybody, Stevie D again with, quite frankly, with Stevie D. A lot of people know that I'm a very famous unknown celebrity, and they want to know what's on my mind because I'm such a smart guy and experienced, and I have a lot of information that could help people. Someone recently posed the question, why should mother-in-laws read very long novels? And I'll tell you why. There's a good reason for it. Look, have you ever had a mother-in-law? I've had several. One. No, I wasn't married to that one. And this one, the mother-in-law was dead. So I've had mother-in-laws. That's beside the point how many. And you know what? If you've ever had a mother-in-law that doesn't read a long novel, you'll know what I'm about to say is very important. I had this mother-in-law. She didn't read a long novel. I had to throw her in the closet, and it was a soundproof closet. I didn't gag her or anything like that, but I put a bucket in, and some water, so she was okay, until she said, okay, I'm really ready to read Moby Dick, for instance, okay? Just an example. And so I let her read Moby Dick, but I put her in another room that was not close to the TV so I could watch football. Could you imagine if she didn't read the long novel? Poor woman would have died in the closet, and I probably would have been held responsible. Nobody likes that. So it's very important that mother-in-laws read long novels, I'm telling you, for their health and yours. Stevie D, quite frankly, with Stevie D signing off. Have a great evening and enjoy your mother-in-law.
Do not attempt to adjust your electronic devices. I am Dr. Nucleon, and they are under my control. Your inferior technology allows me to interrupt your broadcasts. People of the world, I demand $1 quadrillion in Krugerrants. If my demands are not met, I will drop this vial of deadly G9 nerve gas into a populated area. 1 millisecond of exposure to G9 nerve gas will render a city with the population of Grand Rapids entirely without... mother...
I'll call you later, Toots. I get dames' numbers all the time. Hi, I'm Jack Steffen, Private Eye, and I'm coming into your living room this fall on the Dick Channel. All private eyes, all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 1,000 years in a millennium? But that's beside the point. On the Dick Channel, you'll see mugs like this doing what they do best. Straight shooting private eye work, like dodging bullets, jealous wives spying on cheating husbands, standing in dark alleyways, uncovering a femme fatale, and occasionally solving a juicy whodunit. I know what you're thinking. Private eye shows, it's all been done before, but not like me, Jack Steffen. See, I used to be on the crime squad downtown, so I know the ins and outs of every worm on the street and every scumbag at the end of a fishing hook. And I still got 2 slugs inside of me to prove it. So if you want to see some action this fall, tune in to me, Jack Steffen, Private Eye on the Dick Channel, immediately following the Sunday cartoon bonanza. Maybe I will give this broad a call. Hey, everybody. Did you see that colorful wall when you came in tonight? I don't know what they put in my coffee, but I see your brain and it's ugly. Hey, I'm Stevie D. Wow, there are flies in this computer and they're amazing. Do you see them flying around? There it goes again. It's really unbelievable what those things can do. Flies are really strong. I mean, really strong, but they don't like decompression chambers. Think about it. Have you ever seen a fly in a decompression chamber? I never have, and no one I know has either. Really strange, huh? There he goes again. Wouldn't it be cool to fly around like a fly? In other languages, they don't call a fly. They have other names for it. Like in Dutch, it's vlieg. In Czech, it's musha. In Basque, it's hagen, egen. And in Portuguese, it's mosca. Wow, I can't believe I know this. There he goes again. I wonder what his name is. Let's ask him, shall we? Hey, you, what's your name? Maybe he doesn't like to be called hey, you. What if it's a girl fly? What are you supposed to call a female fly? Agnes, Judy, Belinda, Fatima? I always liked the name Fatima. I thought anyone with that name would have cream of wheat for breakfast. And I love cream of wheat, especially with honey and cinnamon. There he goes again. Oh, I forgot what I was supposed to talk about. Why did they put something in this coffee? I don't know. I'm hungry. All right, see you later. Good coffee. I see a lot of colors around. I just want to say thank you for watching, even if you didn't like it. It really doesn't matter as long as you like and subscribe on YouTube. We don't care if you are from Wisconsin, you can still wash our pets. And people said I was talentless. This is A1 first-class entertainment if I've ever seen it. Please excuse the leak in the women's room, by the way. I certainly hope you've enjoyed it. Just don't wait around at the local gas station down the street for Joey Vegas. He's too busy with mathematical equations. But Michael Renfro, on the other hand, he's got plenty of time for coffee, donuts, and sugar-free tacos. But that's beside the point. The point is, don't walk backwards while telling ethnic jokes. Of course, I pet llamas at night when no one is watching. But more importantly, Julie Newmar really did have a thing for me when I was 6 years old. We couldn't tell our parents because of the color difference, and they wouldn't approve of us eating olives so often. They didn't make scratch and sniff cartoons for no reason. Beef stew is best served at 88 degrees Fahrenheit, and like my grandmother used to say, if you have to pay for it, then it must be good. Okay, they're telling me we're out of time, but I do love a good artillery barrage in the morning. I guess this is the end. So please stop hurling insults. Catch us on Roku. That damn fly just won't leave me alone. Oh, wait a minute. I know him. He looks a bit like my great-grandfather. I think. Peace, everyone. And remember, we're better than barbecue.